A pleasant day to each and every one. It is indeed a great privilege for me to be with you in the journey of knowing yourself and understanding the self in general. Knowing and understanding oneself is one of the most important steps to become an effective member of the society, as well as being successful in life, work, and relationships. Your personal identity influences everything you do, and it changes and evolves through time. The primary objective of this course is to help you deepen your understanding and appreciation of who you are as a person. The course also deals several factors and forces that affect the development and maintenance of personal identity. The directive to know yourself has inspired countless and varied ways to comply. Among the questions that everyone has had to grapple with at one time or another is the question, who am I? At no other period is this question asked more urgently than in adolescence, traditionally believed to be a time of vulnerability and great possibilities. Issues of self and identity are among the most critical for the young. This course is intended to facilitate the exploration of the issues and concerns regarding self and identity to arrive at better understanding of oneself. It strives to meet this goal by stressing the integration of the personal with the academic, contextualizing matters discussed in the classroom and in the everyday experiences of students, making for better learning, generating a new appreciation for the learning process, and developing a more critical and reflective attitude while enabling them to manage and improve themselves to attain a better quality of life. There are three major parts of this course, understanding the self. The first part seeks to understand the construct of the self from various disciplinal perspectives. The self from various perspectives: philosophy, sociology, anthropology, and psychology. The second part explores some of the various aspects that make the self or unpacking the self, such as the following. First, the physical self. Second, the sexual self. Third, the material and economic self. The fourth, spiritual self. The fifth, the political self, and the last, the digital self. The third and final part identifies three aspects of concern for young students: managing and caring for the self, which include learning, goal setting, and managing stress. It also provides for a more practical applications of the concepts and enables the learners to the hands-on experience of developing self-help plans for self-regulated learning, goal setting, and self-care. This course also includes the mandatory topics on family planning and population education. Understanding the self will help you see yourself through the lenses of personal identity, your skills and talents, roles, values, personal core, and how you meet your psychological needs. You will also examine how you respond to the pressures of changes and transitions in your life. You will have the opportunity to examine how your personal identity has been shaped by a variety of people and experiences. You will also have the opportunities to think about and discuss your values, interests, hopes for the future, as well as your strengths and challenges. You will learn about how your psychological needs become the primary source that motivates and drives your behavior. You will also learn critical knowledge about change and how important it is in today's workplace to be adaptive and to embrace change as a personal and professional growth experience. While you might understand what psychology is as the scientific study of the mind and behavior, this is also helpful in understanding our own self. let's take a closer look at the major goals of psychology, what psychologists strive to accomplish, and how psychology is used to solve real-world problems. Human behavior is absolutely fascinating. Observing people and trying to predict what they will do next can provide a real learning experience. Human behavior is quite predictable in many circumstances. So the following are the goals of psychology. First, to describe the behavior. One of the first goals of psychology is simply to describe the behavior. Through describing the behavior of humans and other animals, we are better able to understand and gain a better perspective on what is considered normal and abnormal. Researchers might start by observing human behavior and then describing a problem. By understanding what is happening, psychologists can then work on learning more about why the behavior happens and even how to change it. Second goal is to explain. As you might imagine, in addition to merely describing it, psychologists are also interested in explaining the behavior. Why do people do things they do? What factors contribute to development, personality, social behavior, and mental health problems? Throughout psychology's history, many theories have emerged to help explain the various aspects of human behavior. Third goal of psychology is to predict. Not surprisingly, another primary goal of psychology is to make predictions about how we think and act. Once we understand more about what happens and why it happens, we can use that information to make predictions about why, when, and how it might happen again in the future. Successfully predicting behavior is one of the best ways to know if we understand the underlying causes of our actions. Prediction also allows psychologists to make guesses about human behavior without necessarily understanding the mechanisms underlying the phenomena. The fourth goal of psychology is to change. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, psychology strives to change, influence, or control behavior to make constructive and lasting changes in people's lives. So as you have learned, the four primary goals of psychology are to describe, explain, predict, and change behavior. In many ways, these objectives are similar to the kinds of things you probably do every day as you interact with others. More so, in understanding yourself, you might ask and reflect the following questions. First, what are you doing that is describing? Second, why are you doing that? That is explaining. What would happen if I responded in this way? That is predicting. What can I do to get them to stop doing that? That is changing. Psychologists ask many of the same types of questions, but they utilize the scientific method to rigorously test and systematically understand both human and animal behavior. Lastly, I would like to share some of the research outcomes stipulating the proven benefits of knowing and understanding oneself. First, according to Sutton in 2016, it can make us more proactive, boost our acceptance, and encourage positive self-development. Self-awareness allows us to see things from perspectives of others, practice self-control, work creatively and productively, and experience pride in ourselves and our work as general in our self-esteem. That is according to Sylvia and O'Brien in 2004. Third, it leads to better decision-making, according to Ridley et al. In 1992. It can make us better at our jobs, better communicators in the workplace, and enhance our self-confidence and job-related well-being. according to Sutton, William, and Allinson in 2015. Being aware of oneself is truly a potential approach to enhance every experience you have. It is useful for your practice, anytime, anywhere, to ground yourself in the moment, realistically evaluate yourself and the situation, and help you make good choices. Thus, understanding the self. This is Dr. Jerome Magallen. Have a nice day and enjoy learning.